What's up, y'all, and welcome back to another episode of what we're talking about on Wednesday. This week we got some drama in the news to talk about. Now, the first thing I'm gonna jump into is the title of the video, 21st Savegery. Now, can I just start off by saying that I didn't know who this was? I am not hip with the young rappers of today, so I had to look up who it was, what he looked like, and what his music sounded like. I listened to 2 songs, and he can go back to UK as far as I'm concerned. There are much more important situations and things pressing in the world today than to be worried about some fool who got famous by being a rapper and being in the country illegally. Deport him back to the UK, because it sounds like to me he's a rapper. He's not going to struggle. But you're going to sign a petition? Well, he can't rap from the UK? Don't people do that every day? We've got kids living in camps, people separated from their families, people being separated from their families who have lived in the States for years upon years and are in, this is all they know. This guy could have his U.S. funds accessible in the UK. He's not broke. He's not lost. He's not struggling. I honestly don't care. And I think it's stupid, the excitement that's going on around it, because ICE is threatening him to leave the country, go back to where you came from. In this instance, it's not that big of a deal because you got money lining your pockets. And as far as I'm concerned, you suck. That's just my opinion. And I'm Miss Ballish opinion. And I don't understand what the hype is. So to further hype him and be like, oh, we gotta sign petitions to keep him in the States. Bro, he can go to the UK, file all his papers, spend his little cash that he needs to spend, and he'll be back in the US, no problem, legally. But there are much more pressing issues in the States today that need to be talked about, rather than whether 21 Savage can stay in the States or not. And I'm done on that. I can't talk about it no more because it's stupid. The next thing I want to talk about is, now this is for the waybacks, for my throwbacks, for my older heads. If you watched Young and the Restless, I mean, I grew up on Young and the Restless, right? My babysitter always played it when I came home from school. So I was like, ooh, what's Olivia going to do next? Ooh, what about Drew? And ooh, what about Victor? And all of those characters. So if you know the show, you know of the character Neil, better known as Christophe St. John. Christophe St. John's son committed suicide about 5 or 6 years ago. Mind you, Christophe is the father of 2 other children. However, Christophe's son that committed suicide was his firstborn, and he didn't take it very well. It's apparent that Christophe's son was committed for some mental disabilities or mental unstableness, and he had some trouble in the past with his mental state of mind. So when he came out of being committed, if you will, he shortly after that committed suicide. And since then, Christophe had been not only battling with his death, but also trying to bring awareness to people with mental struggles and who are committed, and that things that need to be shed more light on. And he also struggled with it personally and emotionally, and I guess he turned to drinking. Fortunately, earlier this week it was announced that he committed suicide himself by way of drinking. That's kind of the assumption we're under. There haven't been any proper, full official reports, but we do know that he died and that he was drinking excessively. And we do know that he had problems in the past with drinking. To me, this is really sad, because these are the conversations that need to be talked about. Now, whether or not 21 Savage can stay in the States. People losing family members and proper grief counseling, and dealing with mental illness and people dying from that. Those are the conversations we need to be talking about. And my heart goes out to Christophe's fiance, because he left her and his other kids, and that's it. I feel like he probably never felt like he could properly recover, and he probably failed his son. So the best way for him to deal with it was to go be with him. And I hope wherever he is, he's at peace in some sense, and my thoughts and prayers go out to his family. But if you're a Y&R fan, you know what I'm talking about. And it's kind of tough, because you forget that these people who are on TV have personal lives and personal struggles and demons, and we kind of just see them as this character. But this is who he is, and this is who he was. He was a man with a broken heart, as far as I'm concerned. And while they may say he died from alcohol poisoning or alcohol abuse, I think he died partially from a broken heart, and that sucks. So I think we need to start talking about the important things that people struggle with day to day, and let the deep-pocketed rich folks who can take care of their dumb shit themselves take care of it. I don't want to talk about 21 Savage. I'm so annoyed by it. Anyway, moving on. The last topic I want to discuss, and this is kind of fresh in the news, is if you're into movies, you have probably seen a movie with Liam Neeson. And Liam Neeson is an Irish actor. He's been around for years. He's well known for his what are they called? The Kidnapper. Oh, I can't remember the damn movies now. But when he says, "I'll find you and I will kill you," he is promoting a new movie currently, and I'm not sure how the conversation came about, but during the promotion of this particular movie, I think it's called Season or Cyan, he talked about a time in his life where he wanted to avenge someone's raping. So one of his friends back in, I guess he said 40 years ago, was raped, brutally raped. And during, I guess he was away, when he came back, he started to talk to her about it. And within the questions he asked her was specifically, what race was he? Now, a lot of people kind of got up in arms about this. Why would you ask that? But if he was a police officer, he would have asked the same question. What's his race? What's his height? What's his build? Did you see his hair color? Or what were his eyes? Anyway, so Liam Neeson was, forthcoming with this information at this time in his life where he felt like he was filled with anger and wanted to find any black bastard, his words, and inflict harm on them, to sort of an eye for an eye sort of situation, because his friend was brutally raped, as he said. He wanted to go out and sort of do unto them how he felt they did unto her. Now, a lot of people are saying that they're not for it, and Liam Neeson is problematic and he's racist and la la la. I think this is a very different situation. Liam Neeson, first of all, offered this information. He was not caught in the act, or not caught in his story, not caught in a lie. He was forthcoming with this information, and he was honest about the fact that he felt troubled by his thoughts. To say that he's racist, maybe in that moment he felt enraged and he was seeking to inflict pain on probably any black male he could find. That is problematic. But I think there's more to the story than just he's racist, we gotta sign, he's written off. At the end of the day, I think it comes down to, and this is not an excuse for being a racist, so don't take it as that, but I think it comes down to where he grew up. He's from North Ireland, and during the time that he grew up, where there were wars going on, and if you hurt my guys, whether they're, let's say, Catholic, and I came back and I hurt your guys, and you could be whatever, Anglo-Saxon, I don't know. That's his way of seeing people deal with things. You do to me and my friends, I'm going to do to you and your friends. Now, that's not an excuse, but I do think that was his thought process. I don't feel like he needs to be crucified for being racist. Now, when he talked about how he was dealing with it and how he felt troubled, it kind of felt like to me, he was kind of bullshitting. I'm going to be honest, during his interview with Robin from Good Morning America, he talked about feeling troubled about it. I don't think he probably was all that troubled about it in that moment. I think he just wanted to inflict pain. And I know for me, if it was me in that situation, I may feel those exact same feelings. So I can't really say that it's racist. If you had said the same thing to me and it was my niece or my family member, it probably would have been the same thing. He's white or he's Asian. I'm going to look for an Asian guy and I'm going to mess him up because they did to my people, they did to my loved ones, I have to do to them. Whether it makes sense in that moment or not. I don't think he's very articulate and very well-spoken and well-versed in how to express himself and how he dealt with things or how he was feeling. He did say it was a primal feeling, and that may just be his nature or his upbringing or a combination of both. But I'm gonna kind of keep watching him on this one. I don't really think he's completely racist as everybody's saying. I just think he kind of was thinking, man, somebody messed with my people, my family, my friends, and I want to do the same to them. And oh, he's black. Okay, so I'm going to go find a black guy. It's not the first time you've seen people behave like that. And I'm not condoning it or saying it's okay. I'm just simply saying I think there's a little bit more to the story than him just being flat out racist. I think we're in a day and age where we call on racism a little bit too much, and it's kind of got to stop. And so that's the end of my video this week. I'll see you next week. Bye.